So today's service, the theme, the readings, the hymns, all take on what it means to be on a journey with God. Now, outside of these four walls, this weekend marks the beginning of a journey for many. For this, if you hadn't noticed, is the opening weekend of the EFL Championship season, League 1 and League 2. And one or two of you may be aware that this very day, at noon, at the Stadium of Light, Sunderland are hosting Coventry City to start their season-long journeys. A journey of 280 days of lofty peaks, low valleys, difficulties and delights, pinnacles and pitfalls. If we go back to that first reading that Claire read for us from Hosea, that's a reading about the journey of God with Israel, told as a parent and child journey. A journey there of pinnacles and pitfalls and difficulties and delights, of lofty peaks and low valleys. It's the story of God's love for Israel and Israel's rejection of that same love. And then at last, his restoration of that love, a love that really never left. We heard in that powerful reading from Colossians, the journey of the Christian, the journey of one who follows Jesus Christ, a journey of coping with the difficulties, a journey of leaving the sinful life behind us, for we are new people, a journey of striving to be holier, to become more like God, a journey of lofty peaks and low valleys, difficulties and delights, pinnacles and pitfalls. And then in our gospel, we hear in our gospel that life is not all about us. It's not all about storing up what we need, of taking what we need to make sure we're okay. It's about a journey of being generous and a journey of being loving, a journey of looking towards God, who is both our Saviour and our Redeemer. And so as the Sunderland faithful start their journey today for another season, we too are reminded of the journey of the people of God. The beginnings of Israel, told by Hosea, Christian disciples in this place too. And that first hymn we sung may have taken some of you back to school. All who would valiant be, to be a pilgrim. It's written after the incredible masterpiece written by John Bunyan, A Pilgrim's Progress. And if you have not read that, you must. We are reminded, as we set off on our journey, our vowed intent is to be a pilgrim. And as we continue our Christian journey, and we have a need to get ourselves right with God, St. Paul wrote to the church in Colossae to tell them all about that. Serve him on the journey in the best way possible, for you need his hands, his feet, his voice, his love, his compassion. And the song we've just sung is about that too, getting right with God. Brian Dogson's beautiful hymn, Purify My Heart. Let me be as gold and precious silver. I choose to be holy, set aside for you, my master, ready to do your will. And then our gospel reading, having taken us further on the journey, helping us understand that we need to leave the me behind, that it's not all about me, it's not all about what I have or what I own, it's about God. It's about having a generous, loving heart. In a moment, our next hymn actually, we will sing Richard Gillard's Brother, Sister, Let Me Serve You. A reminder that serving others is a significant part of that journey. In the words of Jesus, loving your neighbour as yourself. We will sing these words, we are pilgrims on a journey, fellow travellers on the road. We are here to help each other, to walk the mile, to bear the load. Our gospel reading also points us, along with the prophet Hosea and St. Paul, to the ultimate goal of our journey, to serve God, to perform his will, to give his love to the world. In Hosea we heard, I led them with cords of human kindness, with bands of love. I was to them like those who lift infants to their cheeks. I bent down to them and fed them. In Colossians we heard, set your mind on things that are above, not things that are on the earth. For you have died and your life is hidden with Christ in God. In our gospel we are instructed not to store up treasures for ourselves, but to be rich towards God and others. And we will finish our service singing that wonderful prayer attributed to St. Francis of Assisi. We will sing these words: make me a channel of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me bring your love. Where there is injury, your pardon, Lord. Where there is doubt, true faith in you. And what a song for us to go out into the world to. So today may be the start of a football journey for some. But for us all, it should be a new start, or a renewed start, or even just the next step on our journey in that special pilgrimage that brought us here this morning and that sent us out into the world to follow Jesus Christ, to be his servants, to walk the journey with him. So as we go on a journey, the words of an ancient Celtic blessing came to mind when I was preparing. One that is associated with journey, and one that I remember said so many times by my wonderful father-in-law. And so may the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, and may the rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Amen.